Hello everyone, Amanda here. Thanks for joining me. Happy Monday. So Monday is 12 weeks of Christmas freebies over on my Facebook group, and we're on week 4. So these are the digitals that I'm giving away this week. I'm going to quickly show you, and then we're going to go on to a quick tutorial of what it makes. So we've got another plaid. It's a slightly different colour to last time, but we are reusing some of the backgrounds, just in slightly different colours, obviously just to save time, and it's just an extra if you want in a background. So we've got that one, and then we've got this large, beautiful large tag that I've made, and this image here has been clipped from a vintage trading card, I think it was, and resized and used, so I'm claiming this as as ours. And the digital music paper we found as well and used, that's widely used, is that one. So I've made quite a large tag with it, and the bottom part here is blank. We've got the these clusters all the way around to look like a pretty arch border, and then at the bottom here you've got a smaller piece, so I'll show you what we do with that. And then we've just got Yuletide blessings there on some what looks like ripped paper. Okay, and then here's the main image that we're using this week. So every week there's been, so far, I don't know if it'll continue because I don't know how many more I can find. The focus has been some sort of young girl with a red coat or red clothing. So I've managed to find another one, and today she's got company with this lovely little sailor boy here holding an orange to give her for Christmas, and I just thought it was darling, and that was on a vintage advertisement, so I've extracted that so that we can use it. So I've given you that image slightly larger than here so that you can fussy cut and do things 3D, because that's what I like to do. So then we've got a tag here with the lovely image again and the floral cluster, and then one of the collage backgrounds. I've done a little label here which will fit on here, okay, and a spare tag to go in the back to do what you want with, okay, which is slightly smaller than this because this is going to be a pocket. So bear with me and watch the second part of the video for a really quick tutorial. Okay, so I've prepped all of my images, I've fussy cut everything. It's just one little tip I just want to share with you about fussy cutting some of the more detailed images like this. Okay, so when you're cutting, you need to, let me just show you here. So start cutting, give yourself a small gap, and then start cutting, and then move the image, and then go very carefully and kind of like rotate the image rather than rotating your scissors. So keep your scissors at a certain angle, and then obviously keep doing the pressure to cut, but move the actual image, and it comes with practice. And another thing that I do is I don't necessarily cut every last little bit. So on this image here that I have fussy cut, you will see I have omitted this bit here, so I've just cut around the leaves because I'm not fussy cutting that little twig, and I haven't fussy cut that little twig either. I've just cut it off. Okay, so you can do that and still get a really nice image. Okay, you can obviously cut right up to the image without leaving a border as well, that does make it slightly easier. Alright, so that's that little tip. So I've fussy cut everything. So what we're making is a loaded pocket. So you've got this large tag here, and then this funny shaped shorter one, so that will in essence layer on there, and then you decorate your tags and it's a loaded pocket. So either you can glue that into a journal, you can put a hinge on it and have it as a flip component, you know, there's loads of things. You could make a card out of it, but that's what I had in mind when I was designing it. So I'm going to show you how I've put mine together, and it's really simple because all you've got to do is cut it out and ink it and glue it together. If you're an experienced crafter or you like to have a play, you can step it up, you know, sew around it. I haven't added coffee dyed paper on the back. You could do that, or turn it around and print something on the back. I've left mine plain. So I'm just inking the edges with, and I'm using Vintage Photo. Okay, and I'm just going to ink the back, even though you're not going to see it, so that none of the white edges peek through. And that's the main reason why we ink, is to get rid of the white edges when you cut in, because I use lightweight cardstock for these kind of thing. And also it blends the image and just makes it look a little bit dreamy and a bit vintage. It also will hide a multitude of sins, so if you've not cut it perfect, you know, don't worry, cover it up with distress ink. Okay, now the bottom of this tag is curved. I haven't cut the curve. I would probably use, wait till it's glued together, and then I might use a corner rounding punch, or you can just cut it square. It doesn't matter. Okay, you could print the images out twice and put a pocket on the back as well. You do have the plaid or tartan, I call it tartan, sheet as well. I'm not actually using that today, but it's good to keep in your collection for other things. So I'm just going to ink all of my images first. Okay, so 200 DSM cardstock, if anybody's wondering, or if you're printing on just printer paper, line the back with book page, or you know, anything just to give it a bit of strength. Okay, I'm leaving mine white so that you can journal on the back. And then you've got this smaller tag here, which is a replica of the back of the pocket, just to add, and you can decorate that further. Don't forget, you know, if you've been collecting the images, we're on week 4, you can use leftovers from previous kits and add them to it. You don't have to just stick to what's on this week's. I've kind of made them so that they're not all exactly the same, but they all do go together, so that when you've got all of your collection at the end of 12 weeks, they will all kind of match. So I'm keeping them all vintage and all similar. And you will also see some images will be repeated, like you see in a larger kit. You will see some similar images repeated. So we've had this before, but I've layered it on this little paper background here with the red lines and patterns. Okay. So I'm just distressing this because this is going to be a label for the front. Just get the fluff off, because you don't want paper fluff in your distress ink. And then ink it. And these projects are designed to be just really easy, so that anybody can have a go, as long as you've got a printer and some glue and a pair of scissors. You don't, you know, I've done it specifically so you don't need anything fancy. No point giving a free project if you then need this, that and the other to make it with. You don't need anything. Right, so I'm not going to distress this one because the white border that I've put there makes it stand out on the project. I've also got this little ripped tag. Now on the image it's ripped, but I've also ripped it as well. So then, you know, you're definitely getting a nice ripped edge. I'm going to just distress that slightly, and that says Yuletide Blessing. So if you want a sentiment on anything, it's there. Okay, so let's have a look, see what we can make. So what I'm going to do first of all, on my pocket, I'm going to put some skinny tape across the middle, because I'm going to just put some cheap ribbon under my label. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking. They think they think they're like Rottweilers or some kind of big guard dog. So yeah, they're actually Shih Tzus. Tiny little balls of fluff, but they're a bit like me. What they lack in stature and size, they make up for in volume. Oh dear. Right, so that's that. Let me just grab some, I'm going to need some foam tape. Hopefully that'll be enough. I've got some more. I'll just grab that in case I need it. Okay. So, I'm going to just take that off. I've got this ribbon which is on a huge roll. Cheap as chips, it's that, it's almost got like a plasticky feel, but it's only for crafting. You don't have to have expensive stuff. If you peel your tape off in stages, you won't get in a sticky mess. At least that's the theory. Okay. Double-sided tape is just easier for attaching ribbon. If you use glue, it can tend to show through the ribbon, depending on what ribbon you use, like. But oh, them scissors are blunt. I need to sharpen those. This is why it's important to have a pair of scissors you keep for fabric and ribbon separate from your other ones. Right, so I like to add a bit of dimension to mine, so I'm going to put this on some foam tape. I just think it's nice. I'll use these because I'm gonna, if your scissors get sticky, get some alcohol. I've got, you know, the rubbing alcohol. Carefully clean them, and then if you've got a scissors or knife sharpener, give them a sharpen. Okay. If you look after your scissors, they'll look after you. There we go, so that's that bit done. Right, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use these bits yet. I did imagine that they'd go on the pocket, but they might be a little bit large, so I might add them to this tag here in 3D. So I'll finish my pocket first. Let's have a look. So that's going to slide it in. Okay, so you need to have a very thin bead of glue. Now if you find that you've glued a little bit too much and this tag's a little bit large, just trim a sliver off each side and then re-ink it. It's not a massive problem, and I've put way too much glue on there. I'm using a newly refilled glue bottle and it's rather full. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gluing that top and bottom. It doesn't matter if you go a bit extra with the glue on the bottom. Then just give it a minute to go tacky. Okay. And then attach it on the bottom, like so. If you're worried, you can always use what I still call structure strips, and that's just scraps of paper or card that you attach to things to attach them to other things. So you'd get a piece of scrap paper like so, you fold it in half, you could glue that bit to the back of your pocket and then that bit to your tag. That will then make sure that all of that space there you can put a tag in. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Okay. Right, so that's that bit. Let's have a look. I quite like that. I might have that on there, like so. And I'm just keeping it really simple. So this tag here needs a hole in. You can put a hole in the top of there as well if you like. I may well do that. So I'm just going to put a hole in here. I'm doing it by eye, so it may well not be perfectly central, but not to worry, it doesn't matter. And one here. Obviously you can add your eyelets or your paper reinforcers. This is the easiest and cheapest way of doing it, and it looks just as nice. Okay. Looks just as nice. Alright, so I mean, do I need to do anything else to that tag? Not necessarily, and it will fit in there nicely. Okay, and then that back bit is your pocket. If you feel like that's a little bit large again, just trim some off, it's fine. Okay, there we go, that's that one. And then this one should just fit in there. Sticking on my ribbon ever so slightly. Yep, it'll just fit in there nicely. So you've got 2 tags. So let's see what we can do here. I'm just going to use this lovely image. I'm going to have to keep it within the parameters of the tag if I want it to then still fit in the pocket. So just bear that in mind. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some more ribbon. Why not? I have it and it's not expensive. Okay. Don't forget things like good old glitter glue and stickers, and you know, get your embellishments out, add some sparkle if you like. So when you're adding ribbon, I always go from the back. I'll start in the middle and work my way around. Crease it there, pull it straight ish. You've got the music grid, you know, the music there to help you line it up as well, so that helps. And then you can just meet it up at the back, trim it off. This is a good way of using up your cheap ribbon that you've maybe bought and thought, well, that doesn't make nice bows, what can I do with it? I mean, you could always cover that with something if you don't like it. If it's too messy for you. So here I'm just going to add some of this dimensional tape. You can get it cheap as chips from places like the Works. The range at the moment, for some reason, for like foam tape and sticky tape, is quite expensive. There's always Craft Stash UK as well. They have some decent stuff if you're in the UK. Okay. So I'm going to put it about there. How cute is this image? I was absolutely thrilled when I found it, and I spent quite a while trimming it out so it looked pretty. And then I did want that behind there. I might have to just move them over a little bit. I didn't plan that quite right. Let me just see if I can just lift it and redo it without ruining it. It's just not quite. I forgot about my floral. I'm just going to need to move it over ever so slightly. So I want this to maybe go there. Yeah, so I'll put them in the middle instead. Yeah. Put them in the middle. They're little children, aren't they lovely? And then here I'm going to, might actually use glue dots, shall I? Shan't I? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use foam tape. I just like the dimension. I think it looks nice. Let me just think what I'm doing before I do it. Let me just think. Okay. And then what I may do is go around and all these little flowers, just add tiny flecks of stickles, and it just really looks really cute and really pretty. Okay, so now that's not going to go exactly where I want it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to butcher it, and I'm going to just trim it until I've got exactly what I want. Okay, sorry about that, I just had to take a break to answer the phone. So yeah, I'm not ashamed to or worried about adjusting things if I need to on camera, because I think it shows you that, you know, nobody's perfect. Least of all me. Right, so where's my little word? So I've got my little word here. I might actually put that on there, but then I've already got Merry Christmas there. I'm not sure. I'm going to put it on there. Why not? Why not? Put it on there. Like so. So I'm covering up that a Merry Christmas, but I want to use my word, so I'm not too fussed. Okay, and then that will slide in there like so. Get in. It does fit. And you've got your stacked pocket. So what I'll probably do at the top is maybe add some bows. Have I got one? I've got one I made earlier. So what I might do is make some of these but smaller and just add them to the top there. So you'll see that in the thumbnail. I think that's enough of a waffling on for now. So you've got your nice little collection of tags and your little pocket. Hope that helps. Don't forget to join the Facebook group to get the free digital. The link's in the description box below. This is week 4. You can go back and collect the previous weeks and then collect them until you've got 12. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.